What's up mga kaguro at mga mag-aaral? Ako muli ang inyong online teacher, Sir Franco, para sa panibagong aralin sa Life and Career Skills. Narito na tayo ngayon sa Lesson 2 para sa Quarter 4. And today, ang topic natin is about middle level skills, pathways, modalities, certifications, and career planning. We will explore middle level skills, what they are, how you can gain them, and how they can help you build a strong and realistic career pathway. This lesson will guide you from understanding options hanggang sa paggawa ng sarili ninyong career plan. Think of this lesson as a map. Tutulungan kayo nitong makita kung saan kayo ngayon at saan kayo pwedeng makarating. Hindi kailangan maging doktor o abogado para maging successful. Maraming solid career sa middle level skills. By the end of this lesson, hindi lang kayo basta magkakaalam ng options, makakagawa rin kayo ng sariling career plan. Hindi ito theoretical lang, practical ito para sa future ninyo. In today's lesson, we will explore different career pathways that match middle-level skills, jobs that need special training but not a full college degree. We'll also look at what influences career choices and the different ways students can learn these skills, like through technical vocational programs or online courses. This will help you students make better decisions about your future careers. Hindi lang ito tungkol sa impormasyon, about ito sa paggawa ng real-life plan para sa future ninyo. By the end of this, may concrete idea na kayo kung ano ang susunod na hakbang ninyo pagkatapos ng senior high school. Let's start with this first subtopic, identifying career pathways and learning modalities relevant to middle level skills. Let's first define what are middle level skills. Middle level skills are skills that go beyond high school but do not necessarily require a 4-year college degree. Halimbawa nito ang technical skills, certifications, associate degrees, at job-ready training. Ito yung sweet spot, hindi entry level lang, pero hindi rin kailangan ng mahabang university degree. Perfect ito para sa mga gustong makapagtrabaho agad habang patuloy na nag-aaral. Bakit nga ba mahalaga rin ang middle level skills? Importante ang middle level skills dahil mas mabilis kang makakapasok sa trabaho. Mas abot kaya ang training at maraming industriya ang nangangailangan ng ganitong workers. Maraming employers ang naghahanap ng workers na ready na sa trabaho, not just diploma holders. Ito rin ay practical choice lalo na kung may financial considerations ang iyong pamilya. Now, let's take a look at career pathways through a holistic perspective. This means considering not just person's skills and interests, but also their values, personality, life circumstances, and cultural background. Career planning is not just about ano ang gusto mo. Kasama rin dito ang iyong values, personality, pamilya, sitwasyon sa buhay, at kultura. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang utak kundi buong pagkatao ang kasama sa pagdedesisyon. Ibig sabihin nito, hindi lang grades ang basehan ng career choice, kasama ang buhay outside sa school. Career planning is personal, walang one-size-fits-all na career. For middle-level careers such as those in healthcare support, skilled trades, IT support, and advanced manufacturing, this holistic approach is especially relevant. These programs often include career assessments, job shadowing, and exposure to technical vocational tracks, which are crucial for middle skill development. Last quarter, di ba, pinag-usapan natin na career pathways are not always linear. Meron nga tayong natawag na career lattice. Hindi diretso ang career path ng lahat. Normal lang mag-shift, mag-transfer, bumalik sa pag-aaral, o mag-stack ng skills. Ang mahalaga ay tuloy-tuloy kang nag-aaral at nag-a-adjust. Normal lang magkamali ng choice at magbago ng direksyon at hindi ito failure. Ang mahalaga ay natututo ka sa bawat experience. What are examples of middle-level careers that you can choose? Examples ng middle-level careers ay caregiver, welder, IT technician, machine operator, at marami pang iba. Hindi sila entry-level lang, pero hindi rin nangangailangan ng long university degree. Ang mga careers na ito ay may local at international demand. Hindi sila backup plans. Legitimate at respected ang careers nila. Now, let's proceed to the influences on career choice, social and psychological factors. We have different influences on career choice. Maraming bagay ang nakakaapekto sa career choice natin. They may include your parents, friends, social media, financial status, gender expectations, and sariling interes. Kaya mahalaga ang self-awareness at guidance. Minsan hindi natin namamalayan kung gaano kalaki ang impluwensya ng paligid sa desisyon natin. Mahalagang matutuhan kung alin ang sariling choice at alin ang pressure lang. First, we have parents' influence. Parents influence the most significant factor. Parents' education, profession, and expectations often shape students' aspirations. For example, a parent who is an OFW nurse inspiring their child to take a nursing course, or a farmer encouraging their child to pursue agriculture or agribusiness. We also have peer influence and media. Peer influence and media exposure also play a role, especially in shaping perceptions of what careers are prestigious or desirable. For example, peer influence and media, students wanting to become vloggers, gamers, or K-pop idols because of trends on TikTok and YouTube. Next, financial situation. Financial constraints lead many students to choose careers that offer a quicker entry into the workforce, making middle-level skills pathways always more attractive. For example, a student opting for test the national certificate courses, for example NC2 in welding or caregiving, to work abroad more quickly instead of pursuing a four-year college degree. Gender roles and societal expectation can limit or direct career choices, especially for female students. For example, female students are encouraged to take caregiving or teaching, while male students are pushed toward engineering or technical vocational fields. And also, personal interest and aptitude remain central but are often overridden by external pressures. For example, a student who loves computers chooses IT or programming despite parents preferring a medical course. What are real examples of those influences? We have here OFW parents aspiring healthcare careers. Halimbawa, may magulang na OFW nurse, kaya gusto rin na maging nurse ang kanilang anak. O kaya nahilig sa vlogging dahil sa TikTok. O kaya mas pinili ang test na training para mas mabilis makapagtrabaho. Makikita ninyo na hindi lang interest ang basihan, kasama rin ang practicality. These findings suggest that career guidance must address not only individual preferences but also the broader social context in which decisions are made. Ang tanong, alin dito ang pinaka naka-impluwensya sa iyo? Career preferences in the IT sector, a case study. Sa IT field, maraming pumipili ng career dahil sa interes sa technology, demand sa trabaho, exposure sa coding o tech clubs, at mas gusto nila ang hands-on learning. Maraming IT roles ngayon ang middle-level skills pero mataas ang sahod at demanda. Hands-on learning ang susi dito, hindi lang puro theory. Let's take a look at this IT sector case study, The Factors Affecting IT Career Choices by Mutanga et al. 2023. The key insights in this study include motivations and interests such as a passion for technology, problem solving, and innovation are strong drivers. Industry trend and job market demands significantly influence choices. Students are more likely to pursue paths with clear employment prospects. Personal experiences such as exposure to coding or tech labs in school shape early interest and confidence. And learning modalities that are hands-on, project-based, and industry-aligned, for example, internships, bootcamps, certification, etc., are preferred and more effective for skill acquisition. This study underscores the importance of responsive curricula and practical learning environments that align with the real-world demands. Now, what are learning modalities for middle level skills? These modalities not only enhance employability but also support lifelong learning and adaptability in a rapidly changing job market. Para maging effective ang training, dapat flexible, competency-based, may online at hands-on components at may connection sa actual work tulad ng internships at apprenticeship. Hindi na confined sa classroom ang learning, pwede na online, sa trabaho o sa community. Ang mahalaga ay natututo ka ng skills na kailangan sa actual work. First, let's discuss what is flexible and modular learning. Flexible at modular learning means hindi mo kailangan tapusin lahat agad. Pwede kang kumuha ng short courses, mag-ipon ng skills, at bumalik kapag ready ka ulit. Perfect ito sa mga working students o may family responsibilities. Pwede kang mag-stop, magtrabaho, tapos bumalik ulit sa pag-aaral. Next, we have competency-based learning. Sa competency-based learning, hindi mahalaga kung ilang oras ka sa classroom. Ang mahalaga ay kaya mo na talagang gawin ang skills. Ready ka na sa trabaho. Hindi importante kung mabilis o mabagal ka. Ang importante ay mastery. This prepares you for real-world tasks, hindi lang exams. And usually, ganito yung ginagawa sa TESDA para makuha ka na NC. What is work-integrated learning? Work-integrated learning ay kapag natututo ka habang nagtatrabaho through internships, apprenticeships, at partnerships sa industry. Ito ang pinaka-real world na learning. Ito ang pinakamaganda para sa mga gustong matuto habang kumikita. Nagiging mas confident ka dahil real work ang ginagawa mo. Now let's understand what are certifications and micro-credentials that support career advancement. To understand how certifications and micro-credentials support career growth, I will present you the following real-world examples. These are aligned with both local and global trends in skills development and workforce readiness. First, ano nga ba ang certifications? Ang certification ay official proof na marunong ka na sa isang skill. Hindi lang ito papel, ito ay ebidensya na kaya mong gawin ang trabaho. Ang certification ay parang badge ng kakayahan mo. Ito ang inahanap ng employers kapag nag-a-apply ka. Yun naman ang micro-credentials. Ang micro-credential ay mas maliit kaysa sa full course, pero sobrang targeted. Halimbawa, isang short course lang sa Excel or welding, pero very useful agad sa trabaho. Short courses ito pero malaki ang impact. Perfect ito sa mga gustong mabilis mag-upskill. Now, what TESDA offers on micro-credentialing system? Sa Pilipinas, may TESDA micro-credentials na pwede mong kunin per module. Pwede mong i-stack ang mga ito hanggang makuha mo ang full qualification. TESDA programs are designed with industry partners kaya job-ready ang graduates. TESDA has introduced a micro-credentialing system that allows learners to earn modular certifications for specific skills without completing an entire course. These micro-credentials are flexible, means learners can take short modules based on their needs. Stackable means multiple micro-credentials can lead to a full qualification. And industry-aligned means programs are developed with the employers to ensure relevance. Pwede itong maging stepping stone sa mas mataas na qualifications. Here are some of the examples of TESDA programs. We have here welding, caregiving, at computer servicing. Lahat ito ay in-demand at may international opportunities. Mas marami sa mga kursong ito ay in-demand lalo na sa abroad. Good option ito kung goal mong maging OFW. We also have global skills-based credentialing. Sa global workforce, mas pinapahalaga na ngayon ang skills kaysa degree lang. Kaya uso ang digital badges, short courses at recognition ng informal learning. What are digital badges? For example, LinkedIn skill badges, IBM skills bid, etc. Short-term certification, for example, Google IT support, Microsoft Excel specialist, etc. Recognition of informal learning, for example, work experience, massive open online courses or MOOCs, etc. Sa global market, mas mahalaga na ngayon ang what you can do kaysa anong degree mo. Skills-based hiring is the future of work. Traditional degrees versus micro-credential. Ang traditional degree ay mas matagal at mas mahal, pero ang micro-credentials ay mas mabilis, mas mura at mas job-ready agad, lalo na kung ang goal mo ay mabilis makapagtrabaho. Traditional degrees typically take longer to complete, around 4 years, are more expensive and may not always align directly with job market needs. In contrast, micro-credentials are faster to earn, more affordable, and often designed to meet specific industry demands, making them a practical option for learners seeking immediate employment or skill upgrades. Hindi ibig sabihin na mas mababa ang micro-credentials, iba lang ang purpose nila. Pero depende pa rin yan sa goals mo kung alin ang mas bagay sa'yo. Examples of certifications and micro-credentials that support career advancement. Micro-credentials are emerging as a transformative tool in education and workforce development. According to a research by UNESCO in 2023, they are formal records of small units of learning, digital, hybrid, or in-person, designed to enhance specific skills. These credentials are increasingly recognized by employers and institutions and can complement broader programs or be stackable toward a degree. We have here higher education institution, which offers modular programs or collaborating with digital platforms. We also have private providers such as IBM SkillSpeed, Google Career Certificates, and Coursera, which offer short-term job-focused training. Intergovernmental organizations supporting pilot programs and frameworks for recognition and quality assurance. Now, here are examples of global micro-credentials. Examples ito ay ang Google IT Support Certificate, IBM Data Analyst, and healthcare short courses tulad ng First Aid at CPR. Lahat ito ay employer recognized. IBM Skills Build offers free digital badges in cybersecurity, data analysis, and workplace readiness. Google IT Support Certificate. This is a 6-month online course that prepares learners for entry-level IT roles. TESDA modular certifications in the Philippines. TESDA offers stackable units in welding, caregiving, and computer servicing. Marami sa mga ito ay free or low cost at online. Pwedeng simulan kahit na bang nasa senior high school ka pa. These credentials are often online and self-paced, affordable or free, recognized by employers. These programs are designed to be practical, accessible, and aligned with industry needs, making them ideal for learners seeking immediate employment or career advancement. Micro-credentials and inclusion. UNESCO emphasizes that micro-credentials are part of a flexible learning ecosystem that supports lifelong learning, upskilling, and reskilling. They are particularly valuable in addressing skills gaps in the labor market, high dropout rates in traditional education, unequal access to formal education. Malaking ang tulong ng micro-credentials sa inclusion lalo na sa kababaihan, matatanda, low-income learners at mga nasa rural areas. Mas nagiging accessible kasi rito ang education. Malaking tulong ito sa mga walang access sa traditional education. Ito ay habang patungo sa mas patas na oportunidad sa trabaho. But also, there are challenges of micro-credentials. May challenges pa rin tulad ng standards, internet access, pondo, at minsan duda ng employers, pero patuloy itong inaayos sa global at local level. Despite their promise, UNESCO identifies these several challenges. Lack of common definition and standards, digital infrastructure gaps, unstable funding models, and skepticism from institutions and employers. To address this, UNESCO recommends establishing national frameworks and quality assurance systems, promoting collaboration among providers, investing in capacity building, and designing regional recognition systems. Hindi perpekto ang sistema pero patuloy itong inaayos. Ang mahalaga ay alam natin ang limitations at paano ito haharapin. Financing options for middle-level skills. Hindi lang ang pera kung alam mo ang options. May scholarships, grants, loans, work study, at personal or family support na pwedeng pagkunan ng pondo. Huwag hayaang maging hadlang ang pera sa pangarap. Maraming options, kailangan lang maghanap at magtanong. We have here scholarships and grant. Ang scholarship at grants ay hindi binabayaran kaya kung may pagkakataon, subukan ninyo. Sayang kung hindi ninyo a-applyan. Maraming estudyante ang hindi nag-a-apply dahil sa takot pero sayang ang opportunity. Mas okay nang mag-try kaysa mag-regret. Loans and work study. Ang loans ay kailangan bayaran naman, kaya pag-isipan mabuti. Ang work study naman ay magandang option dahil kumikita ka na habang nag-aaral. Kung maglo-loan, siguraduhin may plano sa pagbabayad. Work study is a good balance of earning and learning naman. Now, that's our long discussion about middle level skills. Let's now proceed to activities or assessment. For your activity, my middle level career pathway plan. Ngayon, dito sa activity na to, gagawa kayo ng sarili ninyong plan, middle level career pathway plan. Isipin ninyo, ano ang pathway ninyo? Paano kayo matututo? Anong credentials ang kukunin ninyo? At paano ninyo ito popondohan? Think of this as your first career blueprint. Hindi ito final, pwede magbago habang lumalaki ka. So dito, ito ang susundan ninyong career pathway plan worksheet. Isipin ninyo, ano ang pathway ninyo? Paano kayo matututo? Anong credential ang kukunin nyo at paano ninyo ito pupuntahan? Be honest sa sarili mo, hindi ito para sa grade lang. Mas malino ang plan, mas madali ang next step. Mag-reflect tayo sa ginawa nyo yung activity na ito. Ano ang pinaka-naka-impluensya sa choice ninyo? Ano ang posibleng challenges? At anong support ang kailangan ninyo para magtagumpay? Ang reflection ay mahalaga para mas makilala mo ang sarili mo. Ito rin ang simula ng lifelong career planning. Now let's take the assessment. This is not just a test, it's a way to check your understanding, so take your time and think carefully. 1. Which best describe middle level skills? B. Skills beyond basic education but not requiring a full degree. 2. Which learning modality combines online and hands-on learning? C. Blended or hybrid. 3. Which credential is short, focused, and stackable? C. Micro-credential. 4. Which organization offers modular certifications in the Philippines? C. TESDA. Which factor most influences career choice according to research? B. Parents. 6. Which is an example of a global micro-credential? B. Google IT Support Certificate. 7. What does competency-based learning focus on? C. Mastery of skills. 8. Which financing option does not require repayment? B. Scholarship. Why are micro-credentials helpful for inclusion? C. They are flexible and accessible. And last, 10. Which is a key outcome of this lesson? Of course, creating a personal career pathway. Marami tayong matututuhan dito sa lesson na ito. At balikan nga natin ang mga iyon. Ang middle level skills ay makikita talaga nating powerful. Ang career pathways ay flexible. Ang micro-credentials ay nagbibigay ng mabilis na oportunidad. At ang maayos na planning ay susi sa tagumpay. Ang skills ay pwedeng matutuhan, hindi ito fixed. Ang career success ay combination ng planning, effort, at flexibility. Hindi mo kailangang malaman lahat ngayon. Ang mahalaga ay nagsisimula ka. Your future is not decided yet. You are building it. Maraming salamat sa bumuo ng lesson exemplar kung saan ibinase ang ilang bahagi ng discussion video na ito. Tandaan, your career is a journey. Plan it, grow in it, and adapt along the way. Ang career ay isang journey, hindi ito one-time decision. Magplano, mag-aral, mag-adapt, at huwag matakot magbago ng direksyon kung kailangan. Once again, I'm your online teacher, Sam Franco. Thank you for watching.